Welcome to the coast of Portugal. Today we're going to drive the brand new Peugeot 508 station wagon. So this is a car with some space. And that car wants to compete against cars like the Volvo V60 or the Volkswagen Passat Estate. If it does work and what else the car has to offer, let's find out now. There are three different trim levels available for the new Peugeot 508 station wagon, which are Active, Allure and GT. And of course there are different features on board regarding, depending on what kind of trim level you buy. For instance, all of them look very similar to the standard 508. You find the same big air intakes down there. You have the same grille with the big line here at the front, and of course you have the 508 at the front of the hood. But I think that car really comes very sporty because the hood goes very much down to the ground, so that really gives the car a very solid stance. And then when you look at the rest of the car, it looks very sporty, and one reason for that are these very thin headlamps. Very important here, you can have them as standard with a base version as halo headlights, but if you want the LED package, that's going to cost you 1,200 euros, and you can as another option buy the GT line package, which then includes the full LED lights, but that costs you 2,200 euros. Our car, the GT, features that as standard, and very important is all of the models, they come as standard with LED daytime running lights. With 4.79 meters, the station wagon is 40 mm longer than the sedan, but they do feature the same wheelbase, so you're going to find these extra 4 centimeters at the rear of the car. The car comes with alloys from 16 up to 19 inch. Very important, the 16 inch comes with a standard. The GT version we're driving features a standard 18 inch, but we got the 19 inch mounted, and they're going to cost you 570 euros extra. To give the GT version a more sporty look, you're going to find some bits and pieces here and there, like we have these black rearview mirrors, we have these roof rails here in glossy black, we do find a black frame around the windows at the side, and we do have these dark windows starting from the B pillar. What I really like with the car is the roof line is very, very dynamic, very sporty, and is supported by the line of the windows here, the window shape. And so I think even though it's an estate, we're really talking about a very sporty look from the side of the car. And very interesting is if you're going to buy that car with a bright color and there is a glass roof mounted, you're going to get a gap here. It looks very funny, so you have to have a closer look at that one if you like it or not. Looking at the rear of the station wagon, you're going to find loads of black bits and pieces. And what I really do like is beneath this completely pitch black rear window, you find the Peugeot sign. And I really do like this because this is a very nice break here at the rear of the car. On top of this, we have this black stripe here, including the taillights, and they are dark, as you can see as well. And with our car, because of the GT version, they come with full LED technology. And then we do find this diffuser here with a big 2 exhausts at the rear, and this together gives the car really a sporty look from the rear. And then when you look at the whole of the rear of the car, you get that kind of a shape. It looks a bit like a frog from the rear, and this is because of these big shoulders here. So I think for an estate, the rear view of that car really is absolutely nice.
The base model of the Peugeot 508 station wagon with the 130 horsepower diesel on board costs from 32,350 euros onwards and is therefore competitive. For comparison, the Passat Estate with a manual gearbox and 150 horsepower diesel is sold from 32,975 euros. And a Volvo V60 starts from 37,500 euros onwards.
What I really like with the 508 is the interior, because we do have very nice materials and nice craftsmanship, and it looks completely different and very well organized. And we do have the so-called iCockpit in the car, which means we have quite a tiny steering wheel, which is very low down to the ground, and you have to look above the steering wheel into the cockpit, which is completely unusual. But the moment you get used to it, this is absolutely fine. So it's different, but quite nice.
In addition to 2 cup holders in the center console, the 508 has both a small storage compartment next to the gearshift knob and the typical storage space under the armrest. The storage pockets in the doors are looking quite narrow, but provide sufficient space.
The 508 station wagon comes very well equipped, so even when you buy the base model, you will then have for free a 12.3-inch full digital cockpit on board. The car features a traffic sign recognition, it features a lane assist, and it also features a cruise control, only to pull out some of the points. On top of the full digital cockpit, you will have an 8-inch touchscreen here at the center of the car. And if you buy the Allure trim level, you will then instantly have a 10-inch screen. And the only way to top up this one is you can buy the 3D sat-nav system, but that comes with extra costs.
One of the highlights of the optional driver assistance systems of the 508 is the so-called night vision. Here, an infrared camera detects living beings in front of the vehicle in a distance of up to 200 meters.
The 508 station wagon always gives you the feeling that you really have the car under nice control. The steering is precise enough without being nervous, and I think the suspension as well as the brakes, they really do a good job. What I don't like so much is that the car offers different drive modes, so we can have Eco, Sport and Comfort, and there is not a big difference in between these drive modes. So the only thing where you can feel it a bit is the suspension that is getting smoother when you drive in Comfort, and of course the car picks the gas a bit quicker when you go into sports. But even if you change into sports, that car is not changing from a comfortable car into a sporty car. The 508 station wagon offers 530 liters of maximum boot capacity with the rear seats up and 1,780s when you fold down the rear bench. And regarding to the competitors, that's not a bad number, because even the Volkswagen Passat station wagon only offers 1,780, so there's a similar or same number. But when you fold up the rear seats, then there is a difference of 120, because the Volkswagen then offers 650 liters. If you look at the Volvo V60, that offers with the rear seats up only 1 liter less than the Peugeot, but if you fold the seats down, then there is a big gap, and that's 300 liters. The space the car offers is here at the front, even for tall drivers like me, absolutely fine. You have a comfortable position, and on top of this, the seats, they really offer good support and more than enough comfort. Of course, the seating position is a bit unusual because of the so-called iCockpit position of the steering wheel, but it's really comfortable even for longer trips. But how it looks behind me, we're going to find out that while having a short stop. So now let's find out if I can sit behind me. The seat is the same position. Gonna be tight. So, there is no space left in front of my knees. They do not fit behind the seat. I do have some head space left, which is okay, but I don't have a very nice look from here because of this bar. But to be honest, I'm nearly 2 meters tall and I'm not a standard person. So I think if there is a standard person in front of me, a standard person would fit in here, I think, well. One of the competitors of this car is the Skoda Superb, and inside of that car, that looks completely different. There's loads of space left. But on the other hand, to stay fair, I have to say, in the Skoda Superb, there's a lot more room than with the Volkswagen Passat or the Volvo V60. So this is the biggest one in the segment. There are 5 different engines available for the new 508 station wagon. There are 2 1.6 liter petrol engines, and they offer either 180 or, like we drive, 225 horsepower. Both of them are featuring as standard an 8-speed automatic gearbox. And then there are 3 diesel versions. The smaller one is a 1.5 liter, and that offers 130 horsepower, and that comes either with a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic gearbox. And then there are 2 2-liter diesel engines, and they offer either 160 or 180 horsepower. Both of them come as standard with the 8-speed automatic gearbox. Our test car features the 1.6 liter petrol engine, and that offers 225 horsepower or 165 kilowatts. And the maximum torque is 300 Newton meters. And that is combined as standard with an 8-speed automatic gearbox. And this package really works well. The car is on one hand very quiet and very easy to drive, and on the other hand it offers enough power if you want to drive the car a bit more sporty. But because of the very small engine, the car of course needs some revs. So if you want to drive sporty, the car really, the revs really going up, and then the 8-speed automatic gearbox have to work a bit more to provide you with the power you want. So this is the only downside for me regarding to the small engine, that you really need some revs to get the power you want. Peugeot says our test car should take about 5.7 liters per 100 kilometer driven. To be fair, I have to say that we're not driving standard, because we have to stop very often, turn around because of the camera shots. But on the other hand, during our test drive, our car took a little bit less than 10 liters per 100 kilometer driven, so that really is a big difference.
Peugeot is working on the electrification of its fleet. And so there should be a plug-in hybrid variant of the Peugeot 508 presented at the end of 2019.
That was my test drive with the new Peugeot 508 station wagon. First, we have to talk about the things I don't like so much. The first thing is the petrol engines. There are only 1.6 liter engines available, and I think they should have as an offer maybe a bigger engine, because I'm not a big fan of these high revs when you drive the car a bit more sporty. The other thing I do not like so much is we do have plenty of space at the front seats. We do have a very reasonable boot size, but the rear seat bench is quite comfortable, but there are competitors, they do offer more space in an estate. But now let's talk about the things I really do like. And this is at first, the exterior design of the car. And that car looks as good as the sedan. I like the front a lot, I like the rear a lot, and the side is a beauty as well. And then when you look at the interior of the car, that really is high class and it really looks fantastic. The only thing you have to decide is if you like the position and the size of the steering wheel because of the so-called iCockpit. But I think you should find out that by yourself just by having a longer test drive.